Good day to everyone. You probably already know that wild boars are enormous animals. But did you know that there are giant wild boars that weigh more than 500 kilograms? The wild boar monsters are the names given to these enormous wild boars. Therefore, where do these enormous wild boars originate from? Are they a perilous threat? What actions did humanity take in order to deal with them? In today's movie, let's have a look at how courageous humans go about dealing with enormous wild boars. A good place to begin is with the following. In the event that regular people like us are forced to confront enormous wild boars like this one, I strongly recommend that you make a hasty exit in order to protect yourself. However, that is not something that professional hunters will do. The weapons that they have in their possession will allow them to defeat this enormous wild boar. Wild boars have been considered a threat to the people of the United States for many centuries. They are responsible for the destruction of ecosystems, the transmission of illnesses, and even the competition for food with native species. In certain states inside the United States, even the hunting of wild boar has evolved into a form of entertainment that generates significant income for the economy of the United States. As a result of their capacity to breed rapidly and with a high degree of destruction, wild boars have become a target for hunting by humans. However, the prevention of wild boar infestation is still very difficult to achieve, even if a large number of measures, including a large number of traps and shooting, are utilized. Wild boar hunters not only employ modern firearms, but they also make use of dogs when they are hunting with dogs. Large wild boars are susceptible to being sniffed, located, and attacked by some dogs. They are among the most influential advocates for hunters. The primary purpose of firearms is for hunting. Through the use of high damage, hunters are able to eliminate large wild boars with just one shot, which is an effective method for reducing the wild boar invasion. How do you think this hunter will be able to kill this enormous wild boar in such a short amount of time? A response that astonished you in some way. Only a few seconds were all it took for the hunter to bring down the enormous wild pig. Tan's ability to shoot with pinpoint accuracy is rather impressive to me. Keeping these violent wild boars under control can be accomplished by the use of hunting. For hunters to be able to kill wild boars from a distance, they need to have the necessary abilities and expertise, especially when wild boars of enormous size are located a great distance away and are fleeing to safety. To go after them is not an easy task. Despite this, the hunter, with his unparalleled abilities, is nevertheless able to successfully eliminate them. At this moment, the hunter is concentrating on firing at the enormous wild boar that is in front of you. After securing the target, the hunter went ahead and fired a single shot to eliminate it. To what extent are you aware of the weight of this wild boar in kilograms? About 1,173 pounds, which is comparable to 532 kilograms, is its weight. It is well known that this wild boar is the largest wild boar that has ever been hunted in Alabama, which is located in the United States. Do not confuse these wild boars with those that have been reared by farmers. To be more specific, they are wild boars. This is because their ancestors were wild boars, and as a result they have a very similar appearance to farm boars. The level of destruction that they engage in is also really alarming. South of Michigan, in the United States of America, the San-Pats-Paton Conservation Area is where this wild pig was reared. It weighs approximately 500 pounds, which is comparable to 227 kilos. This is a pretty astounding weight. We all traveled together to northeastern Carolina in order to witness the hunter engage in a perilous nighttime hunt with the goal of capturing a massive wild boar. Through his bravery and years of skill, he was able to hunt a massive wild boar. Only one shot was required to achieve its weight of 550 pounds, which is equivalent to 250 kilograms. Those who saw the wild boar after this will be astounded by the size of the wild boar because of how large it is. To bring the wild boar back to their house, they had to make use of a sleigh and a cart. How many kilograms does this wild boar weigh? Are you able to make a guess? The weight of this wild boar is approximately 390 kilograms, which is a remarkable amount, isn't it? The sled was not only employed by hunters as a way of hunting, but it was also utilized by hunters in order to hunt enormous wild boars. In order to ensure that they are able to withstand the assault of gigantic boars, hunters will employ sleds that are constructed from substantial materials such as iron or steel. After that, They would load the sleigh with the wild boar's preferred item of food and wait for them to arrive. It is planned that they will gather them in the morning of the following day, following the boar sleigh. This enormous wild boar had to be transported back to its home the next day by use of a sled. About 259 pounds, which is comparable to 117 kilograms, was its weight. It is my opinion that if these enormous wild boars were found in Vietnam, the prices of the restaurants there would be significantly lower. I am curious as to your thoughts on this concept. I would appreciate it if you could share your opinions with me in the comment box below so that we may discuss them together. I am grateful to you. When darkness falls over forests and fields, a new chapter of the wilderness begins. The wild boar, a cunning and resilient creature, emerges from its hidden lairs to roam in search of nourishment. Under the cover of night, these animals feel more secure, as the veil of darkness offers protection from many of their natural predators. This is the time when wild boars are in their prime position to locate the greatest abundance of food. Driven by a powerful sense of smell and remarkable memory for food-rich locations, they forage for roots, acorns, fruits, and crops, often leaving visible signs of their nightly feasts in the form of churned soil and damaged vegetation. Yet, as the wild boar takes advantage of the night, so too do those skilled in the art of hunting. For seasoned night hunters, this is when expertise, patience, and experience are put to the ultimate test. Successfully tracking and harvesting wild boar after dark requires not only a deep understanding of the animal's habits and habitats, but also mastery of specialized equipment designed for nocturnal pursuits. Hunters often rely on advanced technology, such as heat-sensitive firearms and air rifles equipped with thermal imaging scopes or night vision optics. These devices allow hunters to detect the boar's body heat from considerable distances, even through dense foliage or undergrowth, greatly enhancing the efficiency and safety of nighttime hunting. However, the thrill of the hunt comes with responsibility. Before embarking on such an endeavor in the United States, it is essential to ensure that all legal requirements are met. Every hunter must possess a valid hunting license, and depending on the region or species targeted, additional permits or registrations may be required. The process for obtaining these licenses varies from one state to another, with some states mandating hunter education courses to promote ethical hunting practices, wildlife conservation, and firearm safety. Therefore, it is crucial for any prospective hunter to familiarize themselves with the specific regulations and requirements of the state in which they plan to hunt. Equally important is the readiness and reliability of one's equipment. A successful night hunt hinges not only on skill and knowledge, but also on well-maintained gear. Before setting out, hunters should carefully inspect their firearms or air rifles, ensuring that all components are in perfect working order. This includes checking the functionality of optics, verifying that ammunition or pellets are appropriate and safe for use, and confirming that safety mechanisms are operational. Additionally, hunters should prepare essential accessories such as rechargeable batteries for night vision devices, appropriate clothing for nocturnal conditions, and navigation tools to avoid getting lost in unfamiliar terrain. In the end, night hunting wild boar is a pursuit that combines tradition with modern technology, demanding both respect for nature and a commitment to responsible, lawful practices. Those who undertake this challenge must balance the excitement of the hunt with a deep sense of stewardship for the wildlife and ecosystems they engage with, ensuring that future generations will also have the opportunity to experience the wonders of the wilderness after dark. When it comes to hunting, one of the most important things to do is to make sure that you are completely safe by wearing protective clothing and wearing protective eyewear. When shooting wild boars, you should always show respect for other species, and only shoot them within the allotted range and time. Observe the principles of ethics while you go hunting. It is imperative that you make sure you gather all of the waste that you produce over the entirety of the hunting journey. This encompasses the disposal of ammunition as well as other goods that are not required. First, you should educate yourself on wild boars and their behavior, and then you should practice the skills that are required for hunting. If you are a novice, you should go on your hunt with someone who has more experience than you do. This will guarantee that your hunt is both successful and safe.